everyone, it's Irene and I'm here to do a tutorial by request by many, but most of all from my friend Linda Lapatka. Hi Linda, hope you and hubby are doing well and enjoying your Sunday and having a great day. Linda is such a sweetie, you guys. If you don't know her, this is her channel name and she makes me a better crafter, and there's so much to learn from her and her channel. She has beautiful projects, a multimedia artist, and such a sweetie, easy to follow along. So some of you have been wondering where and how and who. Linda is one of the people I learned so much from. So Linda, because you asked, I'm going to show you how I made my little captured fairy shaker jars. And there's been some question about the things I've been using. And shaker cards are not new, as we all know. Everybody's making them. Everybody loves the ball jar theme. So I just happen to have this paper line that is Studio Calico, South Market. I have the punch, I have the rubber stamp, but I also have these sheets of paper. I fussy cut out all the jars, which are right here now. My stack got bigger. I have quite a few of them. And I just fussy cut them all out, and let me show you how I did it. The first thing I shared on my video was how I used my laminating sheets, and here's a full laminating sheet. I have plenty of those. You can also use your pocket sleeve, either or. These right here were done with the pocket sleeve. Let me see right here. This was done with the pocket sleeve, and this one right here was done with the laminating sheet, and there's no difference. They both came out really good. Both are sturdy, very sweet. And so people have been asking how I use my laminating sheet and why. Well, first of all, I wasn't nowhere near my pocket sleeves, and I had this handy, and it dawned on me that when you have your laminating sheet, you put it through a machine that heats it up and seals your item. Well, what I did was I fussy cut my jar, or you can use your stamp or your punch, and you put your image in between the laminating sheet. Let me see where I can find the opening here. That's one thing about these sheets, is they're very magnetically stuck together. Okay, so you slide your image in. Okay, so there's your image in between the sheet. And all I do, as you would with the pocket sleeve, now I also wanted to show you, before I show you how I did that, is I have the wood cutting tool that comes with this regulator, and I have it on the orange setting. The red setting is too hot. I have it on the orange. Right now it's not hot, so I can show you what I do. And then I also have the fuse. Why do I have both? Because I've always had this for woodworking, and the reason why I bought this was because it comes with that little rolling tip, which is right here. And I didn't use the rolling tip because the rolling tip for this particular project would have given me perforation lines, and I didn't want perforation. I wanted a straight cut. And so yes, it does have this tip, but the reason why I bought this was because of the little roller tip, which I can't get out right now. I had stuck it quite, I hide things from my mom because she likes to take things. Anyway, this is why I bought this fuse. Otherwise, if this was not necessary for pocket sleeves and so on, I would have never bought this tool, because if you have this, you're good to go. And the reason why I like to use this tip is because when it's nice and hot, as you see, this gets pretty hot, this cuts and seals at the same time. And that is how I got this nice clean line with no perforation on the edges. I didn't have to take my scissors to it or nothing. This did all the work for me. And when you make many embellishments, you want to cut down on your crafting movements per se, and this tip did it for me. And so what I did was I took my wood burning tool, and this would be on my cardboard, and I'll show you the exact one I used. See? That's what I used right here. It's just a pad of paper, no big deal. I just like to do it on paper because when I have it on here and I start slowly, just take your time, don't be in a rush, slowly outlining the jar. I don't move the plastic, I move the whole pad, and I continue on as I cut, Just really take your time, take your time. Do not seal the top. Just keep going straight up when you get to the jar. Take your time, and by the time you put your tool down, this is already cooled off, and you can just lift it off the pad of paper. So remember, when you're doing it, don't pick up that plastic. Move that pad of paper or whatever you're using. People can use glass or whatever, but just have something that you can move around as you cut, as you cut, as you cut. And now, like I said, I left the top open. I would take my scissors and trim off the excess, and I would put in my sequins, or you can put in nail art items, which I have here. I've been using these for quite a few years now, and many types of different projects, and of course the latest shaker cards. Using these items is nothing new to the crafting community. A lot of people do it. It's no big deal. It's just a cute little element to put in and add to any shaker card. So I wanted something other than sequins in my captured fairy jars, and that's why I chose the little flowers, because they're colorful, and I didn't want anything shiny to take away from all the fussy cutting I did on those fairies. Now the other question was, how did I get those fairies? When I had my jar all fussy cut, I had got this paper line. Is called Once Upon a Springtime by Graphic 45, and it's from a project I made quite a few years ago. Well, I think 2 years ago when I first started YouTube. I did a globe, and that was just leftover paper, and some of the things that came on there were all these little images. And what I had done is I fussy cut out the images, and I had glued them on and made my little scenery in the jar. And before the jar went inside the laminating sheet, it was already decorated. And then I went ahead, like I said, I took my knife and get it all cut out. Same process goes with the pocket sleeve. You take your pocket sleeve. I cut one out so I don't have all this bulk all around me. Nice and neatly cut out the pocket. I would put it on my cardboard, slide in my decorated jar with whatever fairy or decoration, or nothing at all. It's up to you. I slide it in, and this is a pocket sleeve now. I put it on my cardboard. I take my wood burning or the fuse, go around it right on the edge, and just take your time. And remember, make sure this tool is very hot. That's the secret. If it's semi-hot or not warm, hot enough, it won't perforate and it won't seal. So that's the trick. And so then I just carefully go around the jar, and I leave the top open, fill it up with whatever items I want in the jar, and that's how I made these little jars. And then the other difference with my jars is that when you do shaker cards, most of the time people cover up the jar. See how this is covered up with plastic? Well, these are covered up with plastic so the sequence doesn't come down. I also seal off that little top that you see there. I don't know if it comes up on camera or not, but I took my hot knife and just ran it through to seal off the plastic so the sequence does not come into the lid of the jar. See how that happens? But what I did was, on the bottom of this paper, you see a line of jars where only the lids can be saved, maybe. Some people might throw that away. I don't do that. I try to save my scraps because, you know, paper does cost a lot of money. So I saved all of those. And as you can see, they are right here from the bottom of that strip. And I cut these lids out. And I use my foam and I pop it up as a lid. So this is not in plastic, and all of this is, see, this is all in plastic back here. So it's clean on the back and it's clean on the front. And that's what makes them dimensional. I have quite a few people out there who are pointing out how so-and-so is making them and so on and so forth. I never claimed that this is my idea, and this shaker card has been around forever. Everybody's doing it. This is just my take on it, is what I'm saying. I never claimed it to be my idea. My idea is the captured fairies as a shaker card. I haven't seen anyone do that. So if anything, I'm claiming to have done that, but I am not claiming the shaker card idea. I haven't seen anyone do shaker cards out of laminating sheets. So if anyone wants to say anything about that, I've done that, and I haven't seen anyone do that. But it doesn't matter. Shaker cards have been around for a while. I hope everybody goes out there and tries their hand at it. Get your stamps, get your paper, get your punches, and ball jars have been quite a favored item to play with the pocket letters or anything really. And this is just my fun way of doing it. And I just love fairies. Who doesn't? And this is just my way to make some captured fairies in a jar. So Linda, I hope this helped you, and I hope you understand now how I used my laminating sheet. It's just another great way to use those sheets up if you're not laminating anymore, because as you know, laminating sheets are meant to be heated, and so when you do the edges of the jar or any object, it just takes the heat quite nicely. And that's how I get that clean seam and not perforated looking, and I don't need to trim it out or anything. Alright, do me a favor, you guys. Check out Linda Lapotka. I know you'll be glad you did. You'll learn so much from her, and she'll inspire you to push the limit and become even more of a better crafter. She certainly has done that for me. And Linda, thank you so much for chiming in on my channel and supporting me. You're such a sweetie. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Take good care, and thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.